where you're getting the $200 million figure from. How was your government broken that down?
So it's effectively this, $74 million in shelter costs for the City of Toronto. According to my meeting at the City of Ottawa today, it is $12 million for shelter costs in the City of Ottawa. We have in my ministry a $90 million social assistance or welfare bill, and there's a $20 million bill in terms of education. There are some costs associated with legal aid. And we've already invested $3 million to the Red Cross. So that's where we're seeing the high cost, and it's going to continue to grow.
Just to be clear, you're expecting the federal government to cover the entire $200 million?
Our hope is that the government will come to the table. They've only committed $11 million to Ontario to date, and that money has yet to flow. So what I'm simply asking is that they pay their bills.
But it's the entire 200.
It's going to continue to grow. My ministry is monitoring the costs. They're continuing to escalate. Last week it was $175 million. So my department gave me the most recent numbers today.
Why shouldn't Ontario pay any of that money? I mean, you get federal transfers, you get equalization, the Canada helps with social transfer. This helps fund the underlying level of a lot of these programs. So why shouldn't Ontario pay at least some of that bill?
So Ontario pays a significant amount of money for the resettlement of refugees, over $100 million that we're happy to pay for. On our welfare rolls, we have about $320 million in social assistance. But let me be perfectly clear. If you want to take it away from the social transfers, I'd like to know which hospitals and schools the Liberal government wants to close, because that's what that money is intended for, and that's what we're spending it on.
But it's intended for your population, and those people will be residing in your province. So to go back to my colleague's question, shouldn't it also partly come out of your budgets, which are...
It's going to our school system, and it's going into our education system, and as the minister responsible for a number of different portfolios, we have to invest in a lot of social services, including our children's aid, youth in care, youth in the justice system, women who are escaping domestic violence or trafficking. So we have a lot of choices we have to make. We're simply asking the government in this particular situation, given their policy choices, if they could come to the table and make us whole.
But those newcomers are using your education services, your social assistance services.
Again, we'll make the distinction between this current increase and influx and the more regular situation, and we're happy to make sure to accommodate those costs. But in this particular instance, this influx has cost us a lot more money, and we're simply asking the government to pay for it.
Minister, you're insisting of using the word crisis. We were speaking this morning with the representative of the UNHCR in Canada, who says, according to the number, this is not a crisis at all. He said that there's a danger of politicizing this debate. Why do you insist on using the word crisis?
Because I have 800 people that are in dormitories right now in the City of Toronto that are going to have to be out by August 9th, because those dorms are required for students who are returning in the fall. So that keeps me up at night. Where are they going to go? The federal government hasn't told me. Bill Blair did not indicate that to me, and what is the cost of that, and how long is he expecting to pay for that? So I'm looking forward to sitting down with Minister Blair. We've had 2 conversations already, and we will have that conversation. But that will increase the cost for shelter in the City of Toronto, and so again, that's the bill.
Is there a danger that it becomes too partisan in the tone that we've seen today?
Yeah, I think so, because it's been very emotional, and I must say I'm only a minister for 3 weeks, and I was quite taken aback at that. So I don't want to engage in sort of the debate on the wording. I want to engage in the debate on how much this is costing my province and the new Ford administration, and making sure that the federal government lives up to the request by all premiers at the First Minister's meeting last Friday, which suggests that if this is going to continue at the port of entry, that the government makes the provinces whole. And I'm simply asking, as the minister responsible for social services in the province of Ontario and immigration, that they make us whole.
So have you sent the federal government a formal bill of $200 million? Because Minister Hassan's office is telling me you have not.
Yeah, they're going to get that today. So my chief of staff's here, who can talk to you a little bit more about that.
Do you have any meetings scheduled with government officials?
So Bill and I spoke this morning, and we're both fairly new ministers, and so we want to make some time in the near future. But we have had constructive conversations, and it was a pleasure to have those conversations with them, so we'll look forward to that.
Can you talk a little bit about the tensions that exist between Premier Ford, your boss, and Bill Blair? They go back years, and it's always been a very difficult relationship. How are you going to navigate that?
They had a great meeting yesterday in Toronto. They put Torontonians and Ontarians first, and I expect that's what's going to happen. I don't know the specifics, but I can say that that when I spoke with Minister Blair today, that he was quite pleased to be working with Premier Ford, and I'm quite pleased to be working with him.
To go back to the housing crisis, what do you respond to those who say that there has been a crisis in Toronto for social housing for 10 years, and this isn't caused by the recent influx of migrants, but it was a problem before?
Well, look, it's increased. I talked to the mayor of Mayor Tory on Saturday. This has created quite a stretch on his supply. And I'm from Ottawa, so I speak to my mayor quite frequently, and we were just at City Hall earlier today to talk about this issue. It's creating a strain there as well. So, you know, we have to take that seriously, and we have to understand that we need the federal government to assist our municipalities and make them whole, just as we're going to require or request them to do federally.
You say you're actually sending a bill.
Yeah.
Are you actually sending an invoice to the government?
That's a good idea, but I'm sending a letter. Anyway.
Okay, so, but I mean, how are you actually asking for this?
We'll itemize it, and we'll get it off to them, and we'll make sure that members of this committee receive it as well.
And expecting a check back?
I would love a check. If you have any pull, that would be great. Thank you.